We're back for day 3 of the 2022 Gillies Shield. We're coming to you from Gunnerland, Adelaide Plains, West Beach in South Australia. We do have the home team playing their second game out of 3 for the day. They're coming up against the Australian Capital Territory. James Harris here, and alongside me, Anthony Weatherstone and Leapin' Leroy Hull. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
G'day, James. G'day, Lee. G'day, everybody. Sorry, me and Lee have had to back up after this morning, but looking forward to this now. The games really start to have some genuine impact on the standings.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, James. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you too. You guys had a cracker of a game. First up, SA v Queensland.
Yep. Queensland kept threatening, especially in the last 3 innings. They scored a run each in those innings and finished up 5-3.
And this game here is against the ACT. Now, we look at the ladder positions with 2 games to go for SA, 2 games to go for ACT. SA 5-1, ACT 1-5. ACT 2 games left to go. They're fighting for their tournament life here. They drop this one. It's a must-win final game. I believe it's Victoria.
Yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities. They've been unlucky in a couple of scenarios as well, but it's everything matters now. It's runs for 139, runs against 139.
Now, speaking of Victoria, ACT's final game's against Queensland. So you'd think the winner of that game will take the 4th place, unless there's some other upset. Speaking of Victoria, though, they go back to back to back, starting right now against New South Wales on the backfield. I think we've got Eric Bolnar bringing us some updates. Then we'll see them play Queensland here on Diamond 1, and then against SA in the late game at 5:30 local time. Here we go, we're about to get underway. SA versus ACT. Sarah Rio leading off for the Australian Capital Territory. Their team is the Diamonds. Not a bad start to the tournament for Rio. Been important as a draft player, the only Western Australian playing in this event this week. Quickly snapped up by the ACT. They've got a couple of handy pickups, including Lauren Parker, who is listed to start this game.
She's been playing in front of Warwick for most of the tournament in the 3 spot, doing a great job.
And we'll go through both defensive lineups when we get an opportunity, but Lauren Parker listed to pitch. She's their ace. So ACT looking to go all out for this game. Let's not chance it to that Queensland game. Let's make an upset.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, Parker had a big day yesterday, having to throw in all 3 games. So, but unfortunately, even in the tournament, only on day 3, there's just no time.
Lee, that's conditioning, isn't it? She would do a lot of that back home across the ditch.
Yep, yeah, it certainly would. But it's in their hands, James, isn't it? ACT here, you know. Let's get out there and give them a real go.
Yeah, don't leave it to other results.
That's right.
Millie Fidge is pitching for the SA Stars.
Came on and closed up after Yo Grauer in the first game against Queensland.
Yeah, and we got an opportunity to go around the defence for this timeout. Leroy?
Yes, so for the SA Star side, at first base it's Belle White, Amber Hood's at second, Neve Adams at third, Steph Collette's shortstop, outfield left to right, Taylor Chillingworth, Gemma Letton, Pippa Adkins, the battery, Millie Fidge to Chelsea Robinson, and Johanna Grauer's the DP for Millie.
So Millie Fidge just 74 Ks just missing and a walk.
There's your first base runner of the game, Sarah Rea. That's why she's up the top of the order. Brooke Spence now hitting 2. Very familiar ACT batting lineup of Ryu, Spence, Warwick, Cooper.
Yeah, so Cooper's moved up a spot. Warwick's moved up a spot. Cooper's been impressive.
We'll get to her in a moment. Pop up, which young Neve Adams will take. I thought Fidge had that covered, but Adams coming to shark it in front of her for the first out. So cheap out for the Stars. And it's a bit of a new look, Stars, isn't it? Lee, you went through their lineup.
Yeah, they're resting.
Teenagers out there.
Yeah, but I think they're obviously resting some of the starters. 3 or 4 of them, I think they are, James. I'll go through them in a moment. Lana Kaiser comes to mind, and they've brought Chelsea Robinson in from shortstop to catch. Bell finished up coming on and playing at first for him. Amber's at the same spot.
Maddie's having a spell too.
Yeah, Maddie's having a spell.
That last
Neve Adams comes in, gives Lana Kaiser the rest at third. And Steph Collette comes in and plays shortstop. Gemma Letton goes and plays centre field in front of Maddie. That's just about it, I think.
Well, we can talk pitches in a moment as we see Claire Warwick in the box, and she goes hard to centre field. Rio will advance. The diving Amber Hood gets up, dusts herself off, and Claire Warwick's aboard. Yet another hit for this tournament.
Yeah, and up the middle as well. That seems to be her go-to. And speaking of hitting up the middle, the experienced catcher, late call-up Cooper, has been doing this all tournament. I don't know how many exactly, but she's hit 3 or 4 doubles.
We saw her in the game yesterday. She was most impressive coming in the catch.
Saw on the Eastern replay, Claire Warwick just held her hands back just a little bit before she went through the ball and drove it up the middle. Class act, Claire Warwick.
Well, she's as experienced as any player out there, isn't she, Claire? Been
Ground ball to Adams, and she's quickly picks it up, plays third. The lead runner fires it across to Belinda White. That'll end the inning with a double play from the teenager. Let's watch the Eastern replay.
Good sharp pickup by Adams, but you can see the background of Belle White's catching ability come into play here as she falls on the ball as she would that a pitch that had just fallen in front of her. She gets down low, keeps it in front, controls the ball, makes a great out.
Nothing wrong with Cooper's shot. It went hard. Linda White absolutely used the body to block that one and keeps her foot on the base for the double play in the third out in the top of the first. So although early signs are good for the ACT, a walk and a single, the Stars just step up when needed, a double play. And Lee, while we see, I'm just double checking here if this is Parker or not. I don't think it is it? Yeah, Parker to pitch for the ACT while she goes through a warm-up, mate. Let's go through the Stars.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, the Diamonds defense.
Even the ACT Diamonds,
I'll
we
get
will.
it right one day.
That's all right, mate. At first base, it's Laura Pardo. At second, it's Brooke Spence. Third is Sarah Ryu. Shortstop, obviously, is Claire Warwick. And the outfield from left to right, Sam McCready, Tess Henman, and Bree Kimber. They have no DP. Have they? Yes, they have.
Michaela Tui's their DP.
Yeah, Taylor Tui.
Michaela Tui.
Yeah, Michaela. It's not written any of that's all right.
We'll blame Eric for that one. It's his handwriting on the sheet, so
yes.
We'll rip into him next time we see him.
Handwriting, did you say? You call that handwriting? Okay, fair enough.
Well, the Stars are on a roll. They dropped their first game in an 8-inning tiebreaker by a single run, and since then, they've dominated the competition. but doesn't mean anything unless you can win the last game of the tournament. So they're looking to get some game time in to some of their second string players, perhaps with the 3 teenagers that we mentioned earlier, some first year players as well. So not a lot of experience, but at this level, I should say. However, this team has shown one thing this week. It is that they gel pretty well.
Certainly do, and they're not frightened to change the batting lineup with the different changes in the side in this game, because Amber Hood batted 9, would you believe, in the previous game against Queensland. Now she's up to 1.
It's a piece of the ball, and Parker does well to field it.
She's a good player, Lauren. Sorry. She's a good player, Lauren Parker. Saw that yesterday, didn't we, Anthony? Fantastic.
Yeah. Made a significant change. ACT were 4-zip down against Queensland, and Cooper came in behind the plate, and then Parker just came to life and just went on a tear after that, and ACT were able to run them down. So she's got a big day today. She had a big, long day yesterday, but she's an athlete. She'll be up for it.
Chelsea Robinson to the plate.
Been playing shortstop every time I've seen her so far. And of course, Bell's been catching, but she had a rest in the first game from catching because she got injured yesterday.
Yeah, Sarah caught the first game. Chelsea's catching this game, which we might be able to talk pitches, how I mentioned that before, or batteries. We've seen Bell get a break from catching both games today. We've seen Queensland, they had to face Grower. Millie starts this game, which means that you'd say that Jade will throw the game tonight.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier today. That seems like they're wrapping her up for the trilogy. New South Wales, Queensland, and then Vic tonight. If she can do that. What we talked about was the fact that her performances, Jade Peterson's performances in those first 2 games, has given them the luxury to be able to have Fidge only throw the 8 innings leading into this morning's game. Yo through the first 3, and then Millie closed it out. So expect Millie to do most of the work in this one.
She's got that change up on a string, hasn't she?
And she had Tonkin behind the plate, and obviously they do it in club ball as well. So oh, wow.
Sorry,
that's a great pitch.
Sorry,
that's Parker, I was saying, has the change up on a string. 2 in a row to Robinson for the first strikeout of the game.
Yeah. Could just see Bell just pulled Chelsea up as she was running off there and just gave us some something maybe something she's seen in regards to the way that that's released. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Cooper throws the same sort of pitch pattern to White.
Wasn't her fastest pitch, but it was up in the zone, so maybe a slight speed variation for the high or rise ball. Definitely drops away for that change-up. Running bunt attempt, catching all fielders on their heels. She'll beat out an infield single, Belinda White. Not the first time we've seen her do that.
No. Last time she did it, there were runners at 1 and 2 with none out. But she's beaten. Spence made a great play there just to capture that ball. If she misses that ball, even though right field's backing that up, White's such a fast, aggressive base runner. She could put some serious pressure on running around to second. So
yeah, that was a great play, as you mentioned, Anthony. And not a tall girl, Brooke, but she got there and she covered the ball. It was 2 bases with White there, if not 2.5.
Johanna Grauer to the dish.
Couple of big shots in the first game, couple of runs batted in. So
seen it well. Goes first pitch up the middle. Spence does well. That's a very close play. Spence stayed low, diving up the backhand side. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Grauer will get a good piece of it, gets it up the middle, right where she wants it, under the pitcher's glove, and Spence has to palm it off with her glove. That was brilliant.
Whatsoever. 2 great pieces of defensive work by Brooke Spence.
Yeah, back-to-back too.
And Warwick had control for the 3rd out. So 2 great plays to end each of the innings here in the first. Nil-all ball game, Stars versus the Diamonds.
Over on Diamond 2, we've just had the New South Wales Fire Stars and the Vic Titans start up. New South Wales starting with Charlie Orsini in the mound, and Vic Titans starting with the girl that took them all the distance last night, Nicole Martin. So Victoria had base runners early. Orsini was good enough to come back, strike out steamers for 0-all in the top of the first.
Agile second base players, don't you love it?
Yeah, how good was it? Like, she's made that play off the base there, and then she's made that. So, Belle White, if there's anybody that, you know, who's going to run bases hard in SA, she's it. So.
Come on, ladies. Let's find a way to spark it. Let's go.
So Millie Fidge here as we go in the top of the second, and leading off for ACT is Michelle Tui. Michaela Tui, my apologies to the Tui family.
Swings at the first one, which is out of the zone. Fidge going straight to work and finished the game well against Queensland. Gave up a couple of hits and perhaps a run, but still was solid enough to end the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Tui, we've seen on the live stream a couple of games already. She just likes to get her hands to the ball, get the ball into play and make it happen. She doesn't overswing, which we don't mind, do we? Get the ball into play, cause a little bit of chaos, and she obviously bats 5 for a reason, and that's to bring in or move around those batters above her. And Collett at shortstop gets a pretty good bounce.
Favourable bounce, wasn't it? That helps.
If that was low, she would have had to make that play from low to the ground, but she got a pretty good bounce. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay.
She read it well, though. Anticipated where it was going to come out. Good solid play. Way to get the lead off for SA and take away that short game opportunity with an early base runner at none out.
Again, first pitch swinging.
Fidge up to 95.
This is Tess Henman. She's been in the highlight reels this week. Took a great catch out at centre field. She had a couple of nice pieces of the ball so far this week.
Very good player, Tess.
One of the fastest here at the championships.
Oh, yeah.
Here's again, and just out of reach of both Adams and Robinson now. It must have been out of their reach. We've seen both those players feature in the SA Premier League top 10 plays of the year with very similar layout, diving, full stretch catches in foul territory. So obviously not close enough for either of them.
No, both went horizontal.
Neves was #1 last year. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
from shortstop?
I do. And rightly so, #1.
Fidge asking the question up top a lot early once she gets ahead in the count. ACT so far been disciplined enough to stay off of it.
Or good enough to get a tip like that. Tui was similar as well, getting a couple of foul balls off the high one. It's a weird feel. It's Monday. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Monday, does it? Oh,
Just
tricky. Tricky.
Fidge tries to dive.
Real
Adams
tricky.
has to change direction to field that one as it come off the end of the glove of Fidge and still gets a throw off. But as you mentioned, Anthony, one of the fastest at the tournament.
Yeah, I don't want to see my pitcher doing that in Game 6. I want my pitcher pitching the ball and just leaving the field to do that for me. It's a great effort by Fidge, though, the natural competitive instinct. And I love the fact, too, that Adams, you know, with her rocket arm, still thinks that there's a play to be made. But
All right, runner aboard.
one out.
Just have a look over Gillian Williams' shoulder, if you don't mind, for me, Lee. Was that in red or green, that last one? We'll just leave the two Softball SA Life members to chat for a moment.
Green,
So a single to Henman.
which I've got anyway. Could have asked me and short-circuited that trip.
Great change of pace from Fidge down to 80 Ks. Henman, quick, but still on first.
Yeah, we saw Queensland very aggressive on the base pass. As soon as they got runners on, they pretty much stole at will.
Yep.
They just kept pushing and pushing, but ACT with everything on the line here.
Good hands through the ball, opposite field behind the runner. That goes foul.
Robinson's first game for the tournament behind the plate too, my understanding.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
might be worth asking the question, if you got the fastest player in the tournament, might as well ask early.
Yeah.
Unless they've watched some of the Walkerville games in the SA Premier League. She's got a rocket arm.
Yeah, and you can see the way with her catching, the way she's setting up too. She's conscious of it. Her right foot's already slightly open as she's taking these pitches. So she's acknowledged the fact that there is genuine wheels at first. But
She trains with Belinda White.
Sure.
Now, those two train more than anyone that I know.
Yeah.
And they're catching partners, and so they work on their craft very well. She's got good pop time as well.
Yeah, you can just see the way she's just turning in.
It's a catch. Straight up. She won't take any easier than that behind the plate.
I think we might get to see it now though. At 2 out, I reckon there's a good chance that she'll be going fairly soon.
That was McCready who popped up.
Having a good tournament for a young kid. Daughter of a gun.
We love that.
So in the last game, James, Eric finished up the chat with wanting those that were watching with us today to name their best player for their state in the history that they've known. And we were getting
not just this tournament.
No, not just this tournament. Like in the history of watching the Nationals, who's your best player from your state? We've seen some good names. Joyce
Pick up attempt. She's gone.
got her.
That is brilliant from Robinson from behind the dish. Saw that Henman was getting an extended lead off. Fires it off one knee for the third out. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. It was inside as well, just for those that don't know the catch. And looked like she took half off the throw as well.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about the fact that Robertson had been setting up ready to keep that in track. And so bit passive from the ACT there. I reckon you have a runner like that on first and you basically cycle through two batters and she ends up getting picked off 6
First,
foot.
I'd rather see her get picked off at
Yeah,
second.
that wasn't...
Wouldn't you?
Missed opportunity there for the ACT, but they are still threatening. They've had 2 hits and a walk. They're getting runners on base, so you would think that it's not far away from them sending the runners or advancing the runners, and then what comes next? They score runs. So ACT putting on a good show so far, and SA get a chance to return serve here in the bottom of the second. Mark Cramp has just said, oh God, let's not go to that. Let's try and encourage anyone who's watching from SA to take the day off work, come down, support the Stars. They've got a couple more games today. Pretty sure they're going to play tomorrow, at least 2 games. Hopefully one of them's the main game, but they're very well placed at the moment, aren't they? 5-1.
Certainly are. Gee, this girl's got power, isn't she, for a young player? Taylor Chillingworth. Goodness, she can hit the ball hard.
Taylor Chillingworth, just a teenager, played in the SA team at the under-18s. They made the final of the Eleanor Mackenzie Shield.
Came in cold last evening and got a stand-up triple. It was a cracker.
And against New South Wales, she did the exact same thing in a tiebreaker inning on day one, game one. Ripped one up the middle, an RBI as well. She's got some clutch about her, hasn't she? She enjoys her softball. I've got a feeling she'll play under 23s next week as well. busy national championship program for Chillingworth. She's not going to be the only one. I think Sivana Siva from Queensland might be another. I'll be happy to be corrected if I'm wrong, but Neve Adams as well, maybe.
There's opportunities, isn't there? Queensland got a lot of young players.
So on Diamond 2, the Fire Stars, like the earlier game today, have taken an early lead, 1-0. Tali Moore's hit a double and gone on to score. So top two now. Fire Stars leading the Titans 1-0.
She goes hard at that one. It's a change up. So Cooper's got some work to do, and Chillingworth's quick. She beats out a drop third strike. That was a great effort from Cooper. But Chillingworth just aware that she's got a chance. That's all she needs. Cooper just picked it up with her glove as well. Then she had to spin around to make a play. So tough chance for Cooper. She did well to recover. Bunt, Collett, Parker, Spence.
Yeah, that's the one.
I should describe it a little better than that. A sacrifice bunt from Steph Collett. First pitch advances. Taylor Chillingworth is the Eastern replay. Lauren Parker does the fielding, and Brooke Spence covers very well at first.
One of the things that the Stars have done really well this week, and Collett has had limited opportunities, but when she's come on, she's delivered, is their short game has been on point. Like Robinson's bunt last night, Tonkin, and again today, and there's another example of it. Their short game work has been outstanding.
Atkins shows bunt, pulls the ball to right field, and Chillingworth has to go back to second. Was she tagging? I'm not sure if she was tagging.
No, she was. I think there was for a moment she came off.
Yeah, she was tagging. She went back to the base.
She did go back. Sorry, I was just going to say she came off looking like, wasn't sure if that ball was going to fall in, and by that time it was too late.
Beat out that drop third strike. You'd think that you'd take on a right fielder who wasn't in the right position to get a strong throw off, but looked pretty good out of the arm.
And there was no backup by left fielder to catch her to at third. So if she had gone and there was a play there and that ball spilled, she was on her way.
It's a good catch by Kimber out at right field. This is Neve Adams. Very talented family of players. Zali Adams, the older sister, Quinnipiac College in the NCAA Division 1.
Eric actually had her playing in the early game from third. Apparently Zali made a play to first base.
Excellent. Oh, for the Stars.
For the Stars in this game.
I thought he was watching the NCAA.
No. She was here. But we addressed it.
And Hallie, the younger sister, they say that she's probably got the most talent.
Oh,
this perfect pitch.
Great pitch from Parker. A change up to catch Adams out swinging.
It was funny, David Muggleton, when he did his interview with Parker the day before. Parker was talking about the fact that she'd only had 3 hours to spend with the AC team before she actually got involved into it. And as these days go on, you can just see the bond between her and Cooper getting better and better, and that change-up is just an absolute weapon. All
right, so if you're watching on the live stream, very special thanks to Spacequake Sports, of course. We do want to know where you're watching from around Australia. Let us know your club and your association. The reason why we're doing that is because Find a Club is a feature on all the websites for state softball and the national body. We've got a clip for you coming up a bit later on Club Finder, and let us know where you're watching from, so everyone from around the world knows your association, and they can look you up on that Club Finder app. Producer Brandon, we'll we'll give him a break for his first day out of COVID.
So the 21-year-old Brianna Kimber leading off the ACT, top 3.
First pitch swing, Belinda White, diving play.
Like shelling peas to that player at first, isn't it?
It's not just Bell. I mean, she's the gold standard, isn't she? But
Yeah.
here's a look at the Eastern replay. Just jammed a little, actually. Belinda White makes a good play just in foul territory, but it's been the whole competition.
Yeah.
Like every player putting their body on the line, diving plays and double plays. And have we seen a triple yet? We've probably seen everything else. We've seen a Grand Slam.
Well, plus the fact is they dive. Maddie Cameron took an outstanding catch the previous game, but they don't get injured neither, you know. So it's an object lesson to the young players. Throw yourself around. You never know what you can catch.
ACT first baseman Laura Padot comes to the plate. Fitch challenges her up high for a ball.
Come on, Laura, pull away. Stay hot, stay hot. Come on out.
Fidge deals and Robinson wants that inside edge.
Coach Carroll, big fan from the ACT of Laura Padot, was quoted as saying last week that he's already got 4 kids. If you wanted a 5th, he would choose her.
Coach's favourite.
Coach's favourite.
Sounds a bit greedy to me, wanting 5. Gee.
But apparently very professional in her preparation, and one of the few genuine sort of left-handers outside of what seems to be the New South Wales team that seem to have a great mix of them.
Obviously easy to coach.
Yeah.
That's why coaches like players.
Ground ball. Great take. I thought it was a ground ball. Fidge had other ideas. Another great diving effort from this Stars defence.
Yeah, Millie's just taken one look over at Bell and just sort of said, listen, it's all well and good for you to take a low catch down to your right, but I'm genuinely taller than you are and I'm standing closer to the batter. Watch me do it.
Only by a foot.
Yeah, 178 centimetres. She's got down to that pretty sharply. That's a great take by Fidji.
All right, we're back to the top of the order for ACT, and although South Australia have done well, you look at the paper, it looks, you know, pretty good for their team. Nothing's been easy. You have a look at the bunt plays and the double plays and the layout plays that they made, the pickoffs that they've made as well. Their defence has just been right on song today.
Yeah.
Both teams.
That's the thing with SA though. It's what's happened is that they've had a strong batter get on, and then they've created something that's created pressure with an opportunity, and with that, then the bats have followed thereafter, and they've broken games open. The Queensland did a good job of holding it in the earlier game after that happened.
It's good location. Rio's on the move. Wants nothing to do with it. How's the conditions, guys? Just
Yeah, perfect.
Is that a hit by pitch?
Oh, she was running.
Wasn't ball 4, was it?
Yeah, it was, I think.
Okay, ball 4.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, her second base on balls for the game, Rio. Now with 2 out, and Brooke Spence up to bat. Are we going to see them on the move now, or chance it out with Spence and then Warwick to follow?
I think Robertson's signalled her intention to ACT that she's not going to have anything to do with their short game or stealing. So if they want to have a go for it.
Fidge deals. outside.
At 2 out, though, with Warwick on deck, I'll be wanting to make sure that she's either got something to do when she comes to the plate or getting her at least leading off the third.
Spence will face Fidge. Robinson was looking up the line there. I think she's got her eye on another pick, a foul ball.
Yeah, you can just see the way that her feet's set up when she's catching there. She's super conscious of these runners. She's still giving Millie the focus she needs, calling smart, mixing up that pace, using Fidge's quality up ball. So far, Spence has been good enough.
I'd throw a change up right in this pitch.
Takes off, and it's a single to Spence. She advances Rio, who was on the move.
A little bit off the pace of the pitch.
Well, this is what ACT would have wanted, though, in this situation. I mean, ideally not 2 out, but at least having somebody who has having an amazing tournament in the dangerous Claire Warwick at the plate, hitting up the middle an awful lot. But now she's got some runners on board. Cooper to follow. ACT, big chance here to take a rare lead against the Stars this weekend.
And then following there, those two is the DP, Michaela Tui.
Here's Warwick. Aggressively first pitch. It's going to go to the fence. One bounce into the softball South Australia sign. Spence turns third, looking to score. Warwick, stand up, 2-run, double. Back-to-back hits, following a walk, all with 2 outs. And it's that lady on screen, Claire Warwick. She just drilled that 225 feet.
I hate to say repeat of earlier message, but I think next time round I'm passing her up.
Well, she didn't
For
start
obvious reasons.
the early game against New South Wales, so ACT, knowing that they've got the 3 games today, they've rested a couple of their starters, including Warwick and including Parker, who played DP. Against New South Wales, they went down 7-0 in 6 innings.
Yeah, it was over a good half an hour before the SA game v Queensland finished.
So they like their matchup against SA better than they did against New South Wales.
Looks like it.
So far, so good for the ACT. Again, first pitch swinging. Cooper gives it her all, but great play up the middle from Amber Hood to stop the threat. Did they bring in a pinch runner for Warwick with the 2 out?
They did.
Yeah.
She'll re-enter, and SA with their work cut out for them now. They trailed 2-0 in the middle of the second.
It was Charlotte Jeffrey came in to run.
So, Diamond 2, 5 Stars 1, Titans 0. Rebecca Schaefer hit a triple for Victoria, but was unable to go on and score. Orsini still pitching for New South Wales, and Martin still on in the circle, top of the third. And in this game here, now into the bottom of the second. And the lead-off, Gemma Letton, who's batting herself into some form. Good game last night, good game earlier today. Playing centre field, covering Maddie Cameron. Attacks the pitch early, gets herself on with a ball up the middle. Warwick diving away to her left, just comes off of her glove. And as Lee would say, the Riverland Roadrunner, the Smiling Assassin, has made it to first. None out. SA gets an opportunity to react.
Peg one back, you think?
To get some scoreboard pressure back on the ACT as they trail for only the second time in this tournament.
Some batters that come here for them with a runner on, isn't there? Hood, Robinson, White and Grauer.
Yeah, big jump already by Letton. So Hood, great club season here in SA, can do everything. She's fast enough that she can drop a running bunt. Her short game skills are good, but she's also proven she can hit that ball long and deep too as well. So
solid piece of the ball, but Kimber's there again. That's one out.
Yeah, didn't play short there. An aggressive call by Coach Benedictson.
And it wasn't a hit and run either.
No. Letton still at first, but now one out.
Takes off on the pitch.
Definitely in a rush now because Robinson first pitch straight into a hit and run. So SA not capitalising on an early positive lead off by Letton here, but Chelsea will be good enough to come up with something for sure. So White on deck.
So some first pitch swinging from both teams. Timeout called from Cooper. Just have a chat to Parker and gives us an opportunity to take a breath. When it's first pitch swinging, we've got a lot of catching up to do, don't we? It's not easy keeping one eye on the game and one eye on the scorecard, but Chelsea Robinson is in the batter's box. She struck out from 2 consecutive change-ups, her first plate appearance for the game.
Well, I'd be thrown at the game.
Tag safe on the second play attempt. So Brooke Spence hung back a little, decided to go for it, and then the tag. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. Watch Gemma Letton running base. She held up slightly and one tag play there, and then throw attempt. Not in time. There's Chelsea Robinson beating that one out in the Eastern replay. Catch a speed up, we'll see. Amber Hood.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity so far this innings for the Stars with the decision not to maybe play short and try and advance the super speedy Letton.
Yep.
We still find her stuck at 1 and now we're up to 2 out and White comes to the plate.
Change up.
Oh, Warwick
does well off
No
her.
way.
Pardo reached for it when she needed to take it because Amber Hood will capitalise on the mistake. It was a terrific play from Warwick. She got the worst kind of bounce. She managed to get those hands to the ball. Timeout has been asked.
ACT
they just want to have a chat.
Yeah, ACT just a bit slow to react, unfortunately, on the spill at first, which allowed the aggressive Amber Hood to round and push and get a run back. So
that's some kind of play out at shortstop. Yeah. Pardo just on the stretch trying that extra couple of inches. It went over the glove, so she just misread it out of the hand because Warwick didn't have that solid base to get that powerful throw off. And SA get one back.
Johanna Grauer coming to the plate. Bell wide at third. 1 out.
How'd you score that one, Lee? Single with a wild throw?
Yeah, that's what I
Or
did.
single with an error to third?
I did a single.
Single with
and
a wild throw.
Yeah.
Single to 6. Bell White's got 2 hits in this game so far. One was the running bunt back to the pitcher, and the other one was an infield single to Warwick. You'd take that any day of the week.
Yep.
Stars have got 3 hits in the game so far. But that wild throw was costly because now there's a runner on third and a run across the plate, all in the same players. Grauer on the backhand side of Rio. Makes a good play over to first, and that will retire the South Australian third inning. They get one back, and the ACT lead 2 runs to 1.
Over on Diamond 2, bottom 3, Fire Stars 1, Titans 0. So,
Tight go.
yeah, absolutely. Titans seem to be throwing their starting lineup and throwing it all at the Fire Stars at the moment. Game going back and forth. Keevers has just hit a single. And Moore has advanced her.
All right, let's go back to the ladder here, guys. Eric Bonner playing all these tricks on me here, sending me a live ladder. He says the Victorian-Queensland game, which is coming up next, right here, Diamond 1, is a 3 o'clock start. 3 o'clock start, local time, will be huge because Queensland currently sit 2 points, Victoria and ACT both on 4. Does that include if they win this game, the ACT?
Not sure.
As they dropped the game against New South Wales earlier today. Anyway, top of the 4th inning. ACT's DP, Michaela Tui, to get things going.
Fitch having good success against Michaela with the ball up in the zone. Just hasn't been able to stay off her.
Well, as you know very well, Weathers, that some batters get into their mind, this is the pitch I like, I'll go for them no matter what. So they get 1 hit out of 10 by doing it, and they persist with it. You know? I'm not saying this about this player, Michaela, but it does happen like that.
Her up ball in excess of 90.
Yeah.
And the fact that Robinson recognises that, I mean, obviously, you know, Millie's not her club pitcher, so obviously their work is done here at State Battery, but she recognises that.
That's the first strikeout of the game for Fidge. And 1 out now brings up Tess Henman to the plate.
But the coach can talk to her about that, Michaela, and just say, look, she's doing you with that up ball all the
First
time.
pitch swinging. They are talking to each other. They're both calling for it. Neither of them wanted to yield. Steph Collett takes the catch, and there's 2 quick outs.
But difficult when you have 2 players going for the one ball, calling the same thing, mine. I thought there was going to be a collision then. Didn't you, Weathers?
There's the Eastern replay.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the nature at Nationals when you've got the best of all the club teams coming into one team.
Yep.
And you basically play this tournament. And so if you're moving your team around, like this is Colette, I think it's only her second appearance on the starting lineup. Adams has only come in here to cover for Lana, who's obviously played the bulk at third. So it's difficult.
Fidge finding that outside edge. She's starting to get into a groove, isn't she?
That's what pitching's all about, isn't it? Getting into your groove. Going to your go-to pitch when you get behind the count.
Great
That's
shot.
a good shot.
McCready fires one out to left field. Chillingworth gets it in quick, smart, reduces it to a single.
She's been pulling the ball a lot.
I tell you what, her mother was a super player.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute super player.
Yes, Kylie always suggested that that was one of the pitches that she least enjoyed pitching to. So, but pulling the ball hard to left field like Mum used to. McCready gets on, 2 out.
She might make a name for herself out of this tournament.
Bringing Brianna Kimber, the right fielder, to the plate.
Unlucky her first plate appearance. She hit a line drive to lead off last innings, and it was Belinda White that robbed her in foul territory.
Oh, great change-up, Millie.
Yeah, she's got a very good change-up. And the secret to her success with the change-up, she doesn't throw a lot of it.
Yeah, but not only that, the way that she sort of just leans into it, you do get the sense, oh, this ball's going to kick up. There's no real obvious tell versus.
No, you can't. Just by looking at her action, the wind up, you can't pick it.
Great pitch from Fidge. 2 strikeouts in the inning.
How good was that? Millie Fidge not even waiting for the umpire to ring up the batter. Millie was already out of the circle and walking to the bench.
Something her dad would have done this day.
Yeah. That's great pitching.
He's still playing, actually. Baseball.
At 65, is there?
Is he 65?
That's the rumour.
Gee.
Half your age, Lee.
So SA now, as we go into bottom
That's
4,
not funny.
Coach Benedictson, you can see he's brought the team together, or one of the coaches has.
Hang on, I'm trying to
maybe one of the players. But that last innings was probably the first time I've seen the Stars not make the most of their opportunities or play the type of ball that's got them to where they're going. They were still able to score purely based around the fact that there were some errors made by the ACT, but hopefully this is just a bit of a reset, and let's get back to what's had us being successful through this tournament.
It's hard to stay up all the time, isn't it? It's a mental thing.
It will, yeah, especially when the bats are so hot, but again, Parker and Cooper have done a good job so far.
Could mean anything as well, because when you're talking more, you're communicating more, and you're getting into the game with one another, you're lifting each other up. You're not just looking for that one spark.
Yep.
Chillingworth to lead things off here, bottom of the 4th inning. I don't think it's panic stations just yet.
Oh, no, not suggesting that it's panic stations, but it's more about there is that little bit of a feeling of a lull in a long triple header. They've been playing with a lot of energy and a lot of things sort of happening for them. So Queensland did a good job halfway through that game, putting a stop on that. And so far, Parker and Cooper have done a good job so far, keeping it under wraps here.
Both teams will get a game break after this one as Chillingworth off the end of the bat tests Warwick a little, but she had that one covered for the first out. Yeah, both teams have the game break, but then they come back. ACT will face Queensland and will fight for their life in this tournament. And SA will play against Victoria, who will be playing their 3rd consecutive game, back to back to back.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough ask, especially with it all on the line. We just saw last innings Jade Peterson also just wandering down into the bullpen, just having her first little bit of a loosener for the day. I don't think it's anything to do with this game so much, but probably just starting that process, getting ready for tonight.
Steph Collett gets enough of this to drop in for a single to left field.
She's making the most of her opportunities.
Yes.
Making it hard to keep her out. She's doing a great job. So, again, the great thing about Steph Collett, when we see it in the local league, she's just one of those contact hitters who legitimately puts the ball into space between fielders without overextending.
She doesn't try to overpower the
and
ball.
She just constantly puts you under pressure, puts the ball in play. So, great job. Oh,
takes off on the pitch and successfully steals a base. Could have been a hit and run.
Yeah,
protection for the runner with the left-handed batter.
Yeah, I think what happened there was, and that's a great pickup, either by Coach Benedictson or by Collett, was that Warwick had moved over probably another 8 or 10 feet to her right to protect that hole because of the left-hander, and that opened up the second base. And Collett jumped all over it and took the opportunity.
And Pippa can hit the ball hard out to the left side of the diamond.
Yeah.
She is a powerful left-handed hitter. on the left side of the diamond.
Pulls it to second base, will advance the runner. So great placement, is as effective as a bunt in that situation. It's 2 out. Collett advancing to third base. She's got a smile. She likes to get dirty. She would be the player that would have to clean her uniform the most out of this team.
Yeah.
I don't see a game that she doesn't have a filthy front side.
I was going to say, it would be hard to justify sponsoring Claire Warwick purely based around the fact that her uniform is constantly covered in dirt and sand. You wouldn't be able to see a sponsor sign on it. She is diving all over the place and doing a great job there. But Colette, the tying run, third base.
2 down.
2 down.
Neve Adams, the hitter. One's in there for a called strike.
It's a good pitch, isn't it? It's low. All you're going to do is ground out on that.
That's some 3 games yesterday. Middle game today. Parker still throwing that hard ball 95. You know, that's impressive.
Change up.
Wow.
It's just like out the back of her hand, isn't it?
Yeah,
The way she throws it.
It's like, again, the tell is difficult from Millie.
It is, but I've been watching it. You know, I'm not in the batting box, but I've been watching. I can see it's just coming out the back of the hand.
Yeah, but it's the fast arm action that's what does the damage.
Yep.
Good batting.
And that's the secret of that off-pace stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go through your normal action, so the batters have got no. There are some pitches you can, really top-class pitches, you can tell what's coming. But with this girl, you can't.
Oh, wow.
And she's going to throw it. She's going to throw plenty of them.
That's the second time in 2 innings where she's retired the batter on a change-up strikeout to finish. So
all pitchers in every game have their own go-to pitch. No prizes for working out what her go-to pitch is. Yeah. It's that one.
Yeah, but if you've got a weapon, use it.
Yeah, of course. Go to it.
4th strikeout of the day for Parker, and she denies South Australia with a threatening runner on third. That was the tying run as well. So ACT still hold a lead after 4 complete innings. It's 2 runs to 1.
So Diamond 2. We're into bottom 4. Both of the starters still in the circle. Charlie Orsini still pitching for New South Wales. Score: Fire Stars 1, Victorian Titans 0. Victoria seemingly getting some opportunities. They're getting some people on base. They're just not able to finish it off at the moment. So good game over there. Martin's 52 pitches in after a big game last night, but very important for Victoria in the first of their triple header.
Pardo for her second plate appearance of the game. And then we'll turn around at the top, pop up to shortstop. Collett under it, comfortably makes the first out.
A lot of going the first pitch, isn't there, in this game? Attacking.
How good's the infield been? Just watching Collette, again, hasn't had many opportunities so far in the tournament, but at shortstop, looking totally at home. Chelsea Robinson's been there for the tournament for SA, done a great job. Belle White, who plays shortstop at club level, most of Australia would know her as
Lana
a catcher.
Casler,
just looking the goods.
Yep.
Top of the lineup for the ACT with 1 out.
Rio on the move.
Anthony, I wouldn't think there's too many sides at the top level that could play 4 people in your side at shortstop and be safe and be comfortable with it as a coach.
Yeah, wasn't it weird when Eric was talking in the last game about the fact that at one stage South Australia had 4 leadoffs in a row for their local clubs and back to back to back. So, yeah, look, I mean, that's the beauty of Nationals, just bringing the best players together.
Strikeout. Fidges struck out 3 out of the last 6.
definitely starting to, as you guys have said, get her groove on, but retiring the ACT, well, lead off number 1 hitter, Rio. That's impressive. The big job for Millie here today is to get to the end of this game without SA having to use their ball pen. Grauer's only throwing the 3. Peterson, they're trying to save for the trilogy tonight. If Fidge can get this done, SA with their 3 pitches, that's a big plus, setting them up for a long day, hopefully tomorrow.
Spence.
Yeah.
Hits it hard into the ground. Second bounce, just a couple of meters in front of Collar, has come up and she's tried to barehand it like she's fielding in the gully. Let's have a look at the Eastern replay. First bounce was at the end of the box. Second bounce, just 1.5, 2 meters in front of her.
Yeah. Couldn't do anything about that.
No, you can't.
And still got to throw off.
And only lost it by a spot. Yeah, that's a great effort by Steph, just to be able to even just make contact with the ball.
Second hit of the game for Spence, and Claire Warwick.
Intentional walk.
Has been intentionally walked, and I don't even know if the Stars defence know that they've done that.
It may have come 1 innings too late, I think.
Well, what's happened this tournament so far, and the evidence we've seen so far, is that every time somebody's been intentionally walked, the next player seems to have come up and made them pay for it. Well, and Cooper's been dangerous all tournament.
Cooper's quite capable of doing it.
She hasn't today so far, but this is her 3rd look at Millie. So this is a big play here at 2 out.
First pitch swinging, it's a single. She's been waved around and then held up.
Yes,
As Taylor Chellingworth got to the ball, quick, smart, but it's a single to Cooper. Guys, they've made them pay again with a 2 out intentional base on balls. Both runners advance, and we'll see a catcher speed up. So Cooper comes up firing, first pitch swinging.
Well, yeah, I mean, that outfield is positioned exactly as Lee would like it. Nice and shallow for the outfield in this particular instance, even for the clean-up hitter. But what Chillingworth has been able to do there by being shallow and attacking the ball and fielding it cleanly, she's been able to take the run away from Spence as she rounded 3rd and kept her on base. So good job by Taylor Chillingworth. Still not out of it here, though. 2 out, bases loaded.
ACT going to their dugout as well for a pinch hit. SA would have liked the matchup with Tui, has had a ground out and a strikeout, but ACT, like I said, going to their bench. Who's coming up, Lee?
It looks like Thorburn, isn't it? Is it Thorburn? Yep, thank you.
The pitcher, Mel Thorburn, number 96.
Yeah, number 96. Surely that was a TV show.
Fidge challenges her straight away, up in the zone, 90 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, Tui's the one that's gone out, the DP.
That's good coaching by ACT, recognising the matchup that Fidge has had the better of Tui today. And he's got an opportunity here with an outfield shot to the fence to basically break this game open and force SA to chase. If Fidge can get him out of here, though.
Here's a challenge for Millie and Chelsea.
Great pitch.
Very good pitch. You can't do anything with that, Anthony.
No. So so Millie's change-ups today have been in the low 80s. That one broke down to 78. So well done. 2-1 in the count.
I'd still throw and change up here, see if you can buy the 3rd out. Just going to pop it up in the infield. Like that.
She got enough. No, Collar is there to do the tidying up. The threat is real. ACT leave bases loaded in the top of the 5th. They do hold a 1-run lead. 2 hits, an intentional walk, all with 2 out.
There's times in this game where I was just mentioning that you can buy a cheap out, what we'd call a cheap out. just get him to pop it up in the infield. That's exactly what happened. So it was an excellent pitch from Millie.
Yeah, well called by Chelsea too. That was good by the Stars. You know, definitely passing up on Warwick. You know, you can debate yes and no the merits of that, considering the tournament she's having. It seems to make logical sense. But that being said, I think the important play there was Chillingworth's ability to attack the ball at left field, field it cleanly, and take the run-scoring opportunity away, and that made the difference.
So ACT had 6 batters in the 3rd inning, and with 2 out, scored 2 runs off 2 RBI double from Claire Warwick. In the 5th inning, they had 6 batters and left bases loaded. So the Stars, with a little bit of work ahead of them, 1 run to catch him, 2 runs to get ahead. And it's Gemma Letton to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, I love the fact that SA are chasing here. I think this is good for them. So far, most of the tournament, they've been leading by reasonable margins, and they've just been trying to protect. Now Coach Benedictson gets the opportunity to put the team to work and chase down 1, 2 to go ahead.
Letton with a single already in this game. First pitch swinging. It's up and over shortstop, out of the range of the dangerous Warwick and into the grass that's been mown, Lee. A single to left field for Letton, 2 hits for the game. Eastern replay.
Could be time for you to get your own jokes, I think. But Gemma, she's batted twice as the lead-off in the position of number 9 hitter, where she normally bats lead-off for a local side, Port Adelaide.
And
interesting, isn't it? And both got, look at that
Great
shot.
at the short game. Ryu comes in quick, smart to field it. Small ball now for the Stars to advance Gemma Letton to second. Don't mind that, but I don't think we've seen anyone test the arm of Cooper yet. I would have liked to have seen Gemma Letton, who is known as the Roadrunner, have a crack. However, I'm not the coach of the Stars, and he has been pretty good so far with his tactics and getting that runner to second. And you've got Robinson and White and Grauer to come any ball to the outfield, and she should score.
Absolutely. I think the one thing, though, with the amount of change-ups that Parker throws and the speed of Letton, if I can't send basically my fastest runner on a pitcher that's throwing maybe 30% change-ups, then, yeah, I'm the same. I would have tested Cooper, I think. But you're right. So far, so good. But more importantly, we've got a runner in scoring position. We've got 1 out. We're putting some pressure because this same situation when it came up last time we did this, we didn't have that opportunity, and we now got White on
deck.
And
there's only 1 run the difference between the 2 sides. So there's not a chasm.
Ground ball, Parker will do the work. And that's 2 quick outs after the single from Letton. Well, Benedictson can back his top order because of the international experience. Robinson has just grounded out there. She actually was a reserve for the last World. She went as a bullpen catcher and went to a junior Worlds. Belinda White's been to 4 Worlds, an Olympic qualifier, and an event that happened in 2021 that should happen in 2022 in Japan. We're not allowed to say the name. And then we've got Grauer, who's a dual international, a junior Worlds with the USA and a European Cup with Sweden. So great international experience coming up for the next 3 hitters. Well, for the next 2.
See, I'd pass Bell up here.
I was about to say, I expected when Coach Carroll went out to the middle there.
That's what I thought he was going to do.
He was going to return the Warwick message in kind and send Grauer to the plate, which, of course, to those in SA would know, well, that's crazy too, because Grauer has been hitting the ball beautifully this tournament, especially today. But
I understand that, but any ball that she hits Bell here, Gemma's going to score on.
Yeah, so, as James said, with 2 out and Letton's speed.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's hoping that Parker has got some plan with Cooper here.
Change up on the outside edge.
We might just find they might just pitch her real careful.
Yeah.
You do hear the saying fairly often in softball, you don't put the go-ahead run on. Bell White has got that long ball power, but she's got 2 infield singles so far this game.
That's in.
Spence is quick. She dives.
Excuse me.
A great play to retire the threat, the SA threat, as Letton just pulled up about a metre short of second base, so she quickly got around third. She was always going to score, but and at Brooke Spence, let's have a look at the Eastern replay. That ball was in the left-handed batter's box. White trying to go behind the runner and takes a great catch right on the line.
I hope she's wearing her fitness tracker today. She's been running around at second base like crazy, and that's a great catch. Eyes only for the ball. The thing I love about that too is Alex Cooper from behind the plate. She's run up to go and congratulate her like she did yesterday when she had that play where she actually went out to the outfield to congratulate the player, and she realised she'd left her helmet at the plate. She had to come all the way back afterwards.
Just a small detail.
Just a small one, details. I've got big news coming over from Diamond 2. The Vicks. To New South Wales, after making a quick pitching change, Orsini came off, Rickson goes into the middle, and Brianna Trim comes to the plate and goes bang with a 2-run homer to put Victorian Titans 2-1 up over the New South Wales Fire Stars in the top of the 5th. So game on Diamond 2. And again, a pitching change orchestrates a scorer.
Yeah. Well, Trim yesterday in the game I watched, the Vicks and Queensland, and she's put one over. It was a long ball.
Yeah. Speaking of pitching changes, it wasn't just a loosener. We've got Millie Fidge coming out of the game. And
Jade Peterson has gone through her 5 warm-ups, guys. Back to that game. Should Victoria win that game against New South Wales, that would pretty much guarantee, or will guarantee them a spot in the top 4, because ACT Queensland have to play each other.
Beautiful. We were talking in the earlier game about the fact that was a 4-point game, because it would be taking the winner one from the other.
And that is taking other results out of your hands. Great shot, good lead off here in the top of the 6th inning.
It's like
Test, isn't it?
It's like the T20, you know, in the T20 cricket.
Yep.
You know, whenever they make a bowling change and the batter seems to go straight at them.
Yeah.
Anytime there seems to be a pitching change, it's all-out attack. And Peterson comes in and gets hit to left field, pitch 1. So ACT up and about.
8th hit.
Have to bunt here.
8th hit for the ACT, and you would say that at least 50% of their hitters have gone after that first pitch, or more.
Yeah, you're leading by 1. Surely you bunt here.
Yeah, but SA have taken a bit of that leaf too. I, at one stage, was thinking Maddie Cameron had become our batting coach because everybody was attacking early. So Peterson throwing to her 3rd catcher of the tournament.
So it's a 2-0 count now. It's a free hit. Surely you're going to bunt here. If not, it's going to be hit and run.
And Henman's got wheels.
Yep.
Let's see if she takes off just the lead off. So
nothing.
Not looking to burn a runner. Obviously, Robinson's reputation precedes her. If you're not sending your best runner, 3-0 count though. You can't afford to watch one.
Just don't understand that though. You've got to, if you've got that weapon, you've got to use it. Got to try.
Jade Peterson is known in the Premier League to not give up too many walks, but in her second batter, she's behind the count, just finds the edge there for a 3-1. Foul tip from McCready.
But the quality of Jade, she comes back, doesn't she? Yeah. She gets behind the count, she'll come back, she'll get back in the count. She has filled it up now.
Yeah, thrown a lot of strikeouts in the Premier League, so with this type of defence around her, though, grand out, we'll take it.
Base on balls, advances Henman to second. McCready aboard for the second time in this game with batters 8 and 9 and none out. This is important for the Stars.
Well, situationally like this, you've got runners at 1 and 2, none out. I won't say the rest of what I normally would say here, but it's interesting to see that Belle White's come in to Robinson, passing on some intel from probably her experience behind the plate in this situation. So it'll be interesting to see the play. Adams, I
think everyone knows what's about to happen.
Adams has come up a little bit, but there hasn't been substantial change in the field.
That is a called strike. So now on the second pitch, Lee, you don't like to do it on the first. We've seen Brianna Kimber with a line drive in foul territory and a strikeout so far in this game.
I'd put the ball down here. Just
Change
like
up.
that.
And the sacrifice bunt does its job, advancing both runners into scoring position.
Well, that's playing the percentages. You know, they put them both in scoring positions. And with Jade's pace, it's easy to bunt. Surely it's easy to bunt.
I would have thought that maybe
pace.
might not have been the best pitch to call, but the important thing there was that on Bell's throw coming down low, that Hood kept the ball, made a good catch, because anything spilt there was going to score a run, maybe two. So
Pardo also shows bunt.
Squeeze.
Oh, wow.
It stays in. She made the
There's obstruction there.
she's gonna
It's
get
all right.
obstruction, so-
There's obstruction. She'll go back to third. Safe.
got the base.
No, she's
Good.
not. Oh, okay.
She's got the base because she'd turned third.
The umpire at third had called the obstruction, put out the left arm, indicating that.
Well, she's made the decision to field the ball with her glove on the line as it's rolling out, which is now going to cost them 2. ACT will lead 4-1. Bell White meets the runner. Is it timeout or dead ball called? I don't know. Because there is a runner still on second.
I think Benedictson's querying the original ball up the line, whether or not it was actually in play.
Well, that's judgment.
Yeah, you're not going to. Don't think we're going to turn that over.
No.
But no, that was. Hey, that was a really well executed squeeze.
Yeah, was it ever?
But all of a sudden,
Well, that'll
2-1.
go down as a fielder's choice 2, then an error to 2 because the ball just flew out of her glove as she tried to swing for a tag.
Come on, need more, Sam, need more.
Back to the top of the order, Sarah Ryu. It is 4-1. An upset in the making here, ACT. Top of the order, 4th time round.
Hey, you've been sitting well all week, Sam. Come on, we're charging it. Let's go. Come on, 98.
Batted 6, 7, 8, 9 in this inning. Has gone single, walk, sack bunt, squeeze bunt.
Yep. Played it well.
Let it go.
That's one of the secrets of the game, isn't it? Just not showing the opposition what you're going to do. Don't telecast it.
Top of the 6th. Great shot from Rio. Opposite field. Chillingworth's got a chance here to get the runner. Well, what's happened there is the runner on 2, which is Pardo, held up just in case the catch was taken. Watch it on the Eastern replay. She holds up, she goes back, and then she has to get the momentum going again, and Chillingworth was Johnny on the spot, and Eve Adams comes in with the tag. So a good shot from Rio, a single to left field, but the play is now 2 out for Brooke Spence. She's had 2 hits in this game.
And played a really good game defensively, hadn't she?
Big swing and a miss on a 73 k/h pitch on the outside edge.
Whatever she does here is going to be a bonus for the ACT team.
Cranks it up to 93, so 20 k's difference. And Brooke Spence
She's not going to die wondering.
was just chasing that one, and now
Just a
she's
little.
behind the count 0-2, right where Peterson likes to be, in front of the count. Change up, the runner goes. Robinson off the knees.
Good throw.
Stop from
but
Collett because the throw bounced.
Use the whole field. Come on. Get us another Ruby. Get us another Ruby. Come on. You know what to do. Come on.
Rio now in scoring position for Brooke Spence. 1-2 count.
Looking for a third hit out of 4 turns at bat, Brooke.
Outfield is in pretty tight. Just low, maybe. I don't know. That was Spence isn't the tallest player.
No, she's had a huge swing for the first two, hasn't she? And now she's backed off.
2-2. Wide open stance. Runner on 2. 2 out. Pop up to centre field. That's Letton. Has it under control. Takes the catch in an inning that the ACT have put 2 on the board, extending their lead out to 3. We go into the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, some good base running by ACT, some bad running from base running from ACT, put them in that situation. But look, they've a couple more runs. Again, the challenge now on SA, 6 outs. They've got to try and find a way to come up now with chasing 3. So, as I said before, I think this is a good positive thing at the moment for SA at this part of the tournament, considering where they are. You know, getting them to chase, that focus, that's going to be invaluable experience for tomorrow.
Certainly will be. Excellent points, Anthony.
A lot of viewers keen to know what's happening on the backfield.
So sorry, boss.
Just stand on the toes.
Bottom 5, the Titans are still in front, 2-1 over the Fire Stars. Just trying to catch up with it.
That's okay. That's all right.
New South Wales definitely putting the ball into play. Tarly Moore's just flied out to centre field. So
score will do as we get back to the play. Yo Grau to lead things off here in the 6th. Can she be the spark for the Stars? Change up. Dead ball. Parker throwing a beauty so far today. Just the 5 hits. 2 to White, 2 to Letton, 1 to Collett.
She's backed off the change up just lately. I'd like to see her throw more of them.
That's the first time it's been more at the start of the count.
Yeah.
She's using it more towards the end of the count.
That's right. Yeah, they're sitting down.
Bit of a mix here. So just be interesting to see the approach of these South Australian hitters in regards to setting up, chasing that type of differential with only 6 outs. At this particular point, it's there's an argument to stay with the short game, but the reality with 3 to get, 4 to go ahead, and you've only got 6 outs to play with, there's a bit of a long stick, just you're going to bat your way through. So being a base runner is probably going to be the important part to start here.
Into foul territory for Grauer.
You've got news on Diamond 2, have you, James?
Yeah, Eric's just given us an update to say that New South Wales have taken a 3-2 lead. So just like that, the game changes.
Just the score, mate. All right.
Here's Grauer.
Change up.
It's high and out of the zone.
Interesting pitch.
Same speed as her change up, ironically.
Yeah,
so.
but just didn't have the control over it. I'd still go with it.
You can see the ACT field pretty vocal here, getting right behind Parker. But wow.
Hard piece of the ball.
Yeah,
Henman's got a job to chase this one down as Grauer gets to 2. She looks for 3. No one covering.
Every time Grauer has hit those doubles, which I think is her 3rd or 4th now for the tournament, you can see as she's rounding, she's looking up saying, are you going to send me? She's just so desperate to get that triple, but 2 will be fine. Thanks, Yo. That's a good start.
That pitch just stayed there, didn't it?
Yeah.
It just sat there. It wasn't a change-up. It may have tried to be, but it just sat there and she just punched it.
Chillingworth having a good tournament too, so...
Long ball hitter.
Chillingworth goes first pitch, fouls it off. Aggressive start from the young player. Her 3rd plate appearance of this game.
That's what happens with young players, isn't it? You start hitting a few balls around deep, then you're thinking, I can hit them all deep. Not necessarily.
Well, the thing here, you got Collette on deck, who we know to be a really good contact hitter into space.
Yep.
If I'm Chillingworth, I'm just trying to make sure I get myself on and be part of that running package. Yo, love her as we do, she's not going to steal third.
No.
She would need protection if you're going to try to advance her in this situation. I would be basically just trying to make sure I find myself a spot, put the ball into play, get myself on one, and then let Colette come through and try and advance us, get us back at least to 4-3.
Yeah, I'm not. If I'm coaching it, I'm not calling Yo on anything. Don't want to come in sliding, diving, or anything.
No, you'd be going to the bench with a pinch runner, but I thought there'd be an argument for that at this particular point, but just got to make sure she stays disciplined on this change-up, which is dragging her across the plate at the moment. She keeps searching for it.
Chance for the Stars. Runner in scoring position. Change up, and Chillingworth fouls off another.
Well, it's her third time round at this particular point, so she should be making sure that she's got that adjustment. She's seen enough of Parker now for this game at least.
All the South Australian batters by now, like, as you just mentioned, and it's an excellent point, you should know what's coming.
Yep.
You know it's coming. Just you've got to pick the right piece it's going to be.
Chillingworth pops it up to centre field. Couple of players go for it. It's a collision, but Henman's taken the catch. Spence has gone down. Henman has taken a couple of beauties this week, but Spence only knows one way. She throws her body at it. It was always going to be the centre fielder's catch.
And you can see Henman limping away as well. That's clipped her hard. That's not good.
We'll keep our eye on both players. Don't like to see it.
Commitment, wasn't
Spence
it?
on the ground.
100%.
Here's a look on the Eastern replay. Watch both players go hard for the ball. Anything that's going to land in the grass you'd think is going to be the centre fielder. Henman took one to the knee and in the head.
Yeah.
I couldn't see where Spence got hit. So
Spence was in the leg, but she's also clipped her teammate in the head with her arm, I think. Oh,
Certainly looked like Henman's catch, wasn't it?
yeah, but gee, Henman's in the wars, isn't she? Far out. There was a little bit of bullpen activity earlier in the innings from ACT, but you can see that they've made some movements now. A couple of players, I think with Henman would have to come off.
here's another look on the Eastern replay.
Oh, yeah.
Henman took a knee to the ribs. I still can't tell where Spence got hit. Is there another view of where the runner's gone? Did the runner stay at second? Because in that mess, in the collision, let's see what Growler does.
Now she tags, and then I think she stays.
I think Spence has probably gone knee to knee
Yeah.
with Henman. I think Henman's taken the brunt of it.
She had. Look at, you can see how, and hey, hats off to her. She's kept the ball in her glove.
Yeah, Growler stayed it too.
Yeah.
There she is in,
Yeah,
in
I
screen.
think-
Another look from the replay.
Oh, Henman far out.
Yeah.
Henman's taken one in the ribs, in the head, and in the leg. And Brooke Spence is on her back. The crowd's clapping. She's going to stay out there. There is one out runner on two. We're in the bottom of the sixth. I think she knows how important this result is.
I think so, and I think that might be dinner on Brooke tonight for Henman. So
Yeah, so I was going to mention it right before the play happened. The Stars have got a couple of weapons in the dugout should they need them. Steph Collett comes up to bat, and it does look like Lana Kaiser's going to come in for a pinch hit in place of Pippa Atkins. I'm wondering if someone's going to come in for Neve Adams as well. Might go to a player called Maddie Cameron if the runners are on base.
it's a couple of pretty handy people to bring into a situation such as this. So, but what we want to see from the South Australian hitters, like probably with Chillingworth, that last at bat was a bit of what Steph Collett does so well. Rather than try and win it off your own bat here and now, be a part of that run scoring that's going to happen and just be getting yourself on base, create the pressure that way.
Ball.
How about a pinch runner at second for
I'm
Joe Grau?
literally thinking about that, Lee. James has got the bench thing started. I'm just trying to think, who would we use? Because you've got Roberts, Tonkin would probably be the logical choice. Roberts could be used in a pinch hit situation with this type of chasing, but we might
Might not need it now as she gets the pass ball to third base. Collett now gets a ground ball anywhere to the right side. You'd think that Grau would take it on. Not sure you'd take on Warwick, but if she can hit the grass, the run will score. Ball in play would be handy. Let's just get it into play to start with. She goes down looking. So
That's the
two out.
one thing we didn't want was that, unfortunately, but
Strikeout number
pitch
5 for Parker.
she's been exceptional.
Yep.
From a nervous first day, after spending 3 hours with the ACT team, meeting her teammates, she's growing throughout Saturday, got much, much better on Sunday, and so far today, with the amount of pitching, she would be probably leading the tournament in pitch count. I would suggest she'd be right up there.
So everyone wanting to have a chat at the moment. We've got people going everywhere. Change for the Stars. Lana Kaisler comes in. She goes straight up to third base for this change to get some intel from Yo Grauer. Coach Carroll from the ACT gets the opportunity to go out to speak to his players. Umpires are making the change here next to us at the scorers. Now Benedictson's got base runner, on-deck batter, and new batter to the plate, having a word. What's happening?
Something's
But no
about to
play.
happen. No,
Yeah.
something's about to happen.
Lana Kaiser to the plate. First plate appearance of the game.
Still got... Still got Adams on deck, which makes sense now at 2 out, going into the 7th, still having Cameron in the shed for a pinch at bat if needed, coming back around.
Outside, just missing for ball 1. So Lana Kaiser gets to see at least one pitch before she decides to go.
So anything to the outside middle of the plate, Lana has been smashing. So, but
That's
the
a
one,
terrific pitch.
but for a power hitter like Lana, if there's a kryptonite, it's a change of pace and a significant one at that. So
And wasn't it perfectly executed?
Yeah, this
Now,
is gonna-
I'd still keep going at it.
Lana's going to have to be at her best here, just to stay off that. Good job.
Kaiser goes to her adjustment after one strike. That one's high in the zone. So back-to-back change-ups for Parker. 2-1 count for Kaiser, runner on third.
Yeah,
South Australia still trail by 3.
Lana's so strong, though, that when she does make that adjustment across the plate like that, she's not going to lose a great deal of power. She's still going to be around the mark. So
Must throw change up now because Lana aggressive, a very aggressive swinger. She'll go for it if it comes.
just got to keep
The
her hands
change-up.
back and hang
Yeah.
on it. She can do it.
There it is.
Change up low.
Just a little bit
That's
low
ball
though,
4.
wasn't
Lana can go up to first base. We play the 4-ball rule. Did we get the count? Oh.
Not we.
James is making his own game up over
Look at
here.
that says 3-1. I didn't see 2 strikes go over the place.
Is it?
It is ball 4. Who's missed it?
Everybody.
Someone's missed ball 4.
Could be important, James.
I got the nod over from Jill Williams.
Everybody in the place except the
Everyone
official
has
scorer
missed it.
and you.
Including the batter.
I've got it.
You know why the batter's missed it, though? She wants to hit.
Which she
That's a
does.
run fetch.
She finds a gap. She scores the run. She turns for 2 and stands up to be in scoring position.
On ball 5.
The only time that Lana looked comfortable in that at-bat was when the ball went up to 95k an hour.
That's right. That's exactly
And then
what
she
happened.
went bang. She waited for it. It was low in the zone, but even the pace didn't bother her one bit. So good job, Lana Kaisler. Run scored, 4-2. It's going to be a 2-out rally for SA to get back into this in the 6th.
Her
See.
tournament continues, and so does her batting average as an RBI double to Kaiser. Would you re-enter Pippa Adkins for Kaiser? Who's the quicker of the 2?
Cameron's going to bat now.
Yep, another pinch hitter. Cameron comes in
That's interesting. I would have thought.
for Adams.
Adam. I probably would have rolled the dice with Adams. Just
Because you want the keeper.
I suppose coming back.
We're
Letton's
coming back to the top of the order, yeah.
Yeah, Letton's having a good day.
Yep.
As far as that goes, Hood, Robinson, White, Grower. So I would have left Cameron in that spot, maybe just so. But hey, you've got to get to that point. So you've got a runner at 2. Coach Benedictson realises he needs to cash in now. Go 4-3 into the last.
It was a great hit by Casler, but Lauren backed off from the change-up because the previous pitch he threw was too low
Yeah.
on the change-up. And that was, yeah.
Matty Cameron. Rio takes a great play to deny. Matty Cameron can't get a word in with these two here as Rio fires it across for the 3rd out. 4-2. We're going into the 7th. ACT lead. Go for it, guys.
Do you remember anybody last night in that 12-minute sermon that he had at the end of the game last night that did any of us interrupt? But far out. What a game, though. What a game. 4-2. SA do rally there, so impressive.
And I have no comment on that stuff.
I'm going to keep quiet from here on out.
Yeah, me too.
It's all yours,
Well,
James.
now-
Bring us home.
Now that the play's over, they've got nothing to say. So here we go. We go to the 7th inning, and Jade Peterson's still there. We've seen a re-entry. Neve Adams comes back into the game, looking for Pippa, or is Matty Cameron out there? Pippa's gone back out to right field. So 2 re-entries for the substituted players.
Have another guess.
Still nothing.
I
All
tell you
right,
what.
so it's got to be Claire Warwick. So South Australia probably didn't want to see this batter come to the plate. However, better to see her with no runners on.
Yes, true.
We'll agree with that.
And that's the only thing. 4-2. What a player she's been. Still is, isn't she, Claire? My goodness. Some of those outs she makes from shortstop, you die for.
Well, we are very lucky to see the best in the country
And she
coming
played
to
for
play
us
at the.
Stars too, didn't she?
Sorry for
Sorry,
talking
Dave.
while you're interrupting, Lee. One of 5 Olympians playing at this tournament. Watches that one for a called strike.
She did play for the Stars once, didn't she? One year?
You tell me, Lee.
Well, I was waiting to get a word in, actually.
I can't tell you when.
No, it was a few years ago. Maybe four. Got to allow for the COVID interruption.
I
Maybe
can't-
4 or 5.
Why would she not be picked by ACT?
I don't know.
I'm not sure she has. If it wasn't before she made her debut in the senior team, she smashes this to left
my
field
goodness.
for her 3rd hit of the game. She's reached all 4 times because she had an intentional base on balls. Well,
What a day for her.
yeah, the damage is minimal, I guess, for the home team, as it's just a single. But here comes Alexis Cooper, who's been dangerous. She had a hit her last turn at bat.
I think I was surprised because I think that's the first time I've seen Warwick not hit the ball up the middle.
Yeah.
I was sort of looking centre field, but it went there.
First pitch swinging. White leaves it alone. She doesn't lay out this time round, but just out of reach. As first pitch swinging Cooper. Got a
She'd
good piece of
have,
it
Bella
last time.
caught that with a big swallow dive. She wouldn't have thrown the runner out going to second from that position, I'm telling you. I thought she was going to go for the big dive.
All eyes on Warwick at the moment because she gets a big lead off. She shares a little joke with her Olympic teammate.
Tall player, Cooper.
Tall player for a catcher, for sure.
For 178 centimetres, so
Swings.
it's a big swing.
Misses, and Peterson will go ahead of the count.
Yeah, she's very dangerous, Jade, when she gets ahead in the count.
Long ball. It's Gemma Letton chases it down. It's going to
There's
go to
a
the
run.
fence.
It's Warwick scoring.
just stumbled as she turned second.
Oh, no.
Stumbled. She kept her feet. She kept going. It looks like she's pointing to the soft spot. She's got a smile on her face still, so she's not hurt.
Groundsman. Speak to the groundsman.
Cooper's put one to the fence. 2 runners in scoring position. First 2 batters as this inning. Eastern Replay goes to the fence. ACT threaten again.
Absolutely. And none out's the important part here, so plenty of work to do for the Stars.
Ground ball, Collar from the knees, throws it over to White, who has to recover. Cooper takes off from second on the throw, but Warwick did not. So on a good play from Collett, she threw one in the dirt to White, who decided to smother it and block it rather than try and reach and make a play.
Ball first, play second. Classic case.
And that saves a run.
Yep.
How courageous is Belle White? No catching gear, no nothing like that. Instinctively just goes straight down.
Keep the ball in front of you.
If it misses my glove, it's going to hit my body.
Well, a lot of players would have kept their foot on the base, try to reach for it to make a big play.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward. However, if you miss it, you're going to give up a run.
Well, there's a fellow I know who used to play first base in the A-grade men's, always played a half a metre off first base. His reasoning was ball first, play second. Saves an extra base. And I'm not going to mention who it was.
I just didn't like having to travel that far.
Caitlin Savage comes in for a pinch hit. Henman might be hurt. I would have gone with Henman. She's already got a hit, 2 hits in the game, so...
But I think she's already... Well, you mean 5 or 6 hits in the game, considering what Spence did to her?
Loaded bases, the ACT. Change up, pop
Good
up.
pitch.
It'll only be an infield fly fair, but White completes the catch and the first out. Runners stay put, 1 out now. Young McCready, Sam McCready has been on twice so far this game. A single to left, a base on balls. She's seen them pretty well.
Gillingworth be ready at left here.
And it's amazing how many times batters get out on change-ups. There's another classic.
Change up, 1 out of the zone.
Why wouldn't you? Let's buy some.
Bit of
Let's buy
excitement
some
over
outs.
on Diamond 2 as well. 5
Victor
Stars
back.
3, Titans 2. Mercurie's hit a single, got to third on a wild pitch for Victoria, so they've got a runner at 3 with none out.
Swing and a miss from McCready.
Well, you don't want the next 2 batters going down looking.
Come on, Sammy. Have some fun with this, AB. Come on, no better right now.
Bases are bulging for the ACT as they have a 2-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Peterson deals. It's in the dirt. McCready stays way out of that. She's ahead of the count now. Lee, is this one of your free hits?
Free hit. Of course it's a free hit, mate. Pitcher's thinking, I must throw a strike. Must get in the count. Oh, hello. Repeated earlier 10 messages.
Well, McCready gets a walk. She scores a run. So maybe she was happy to give up 2 strikes before she takes the bat off her shoulder. Here she is now with 2-2, so she's got to protect. Great eye. That's just out of the zone, and that's Peterson's bread and butter, catching
Yeah, it
people
is, isn't it?
fishing
Yeah.
on the outside edge like
Yeah.
that. Great calm head on a young pair of shoulders. Full count, 1 out. Swing and a miss on the
Change up.
69-kilometre-an-hour change-up. It got down to, what, 62 last night.
It was going down.
2 big outs with loaded bases. We'll see the catcher can come out for a speed up. She doesn't know it's 2 out.
Ah. Testing. 1, 2.
Just quickly for those in New South Wales and Victoria, unfortunately for the Titans, The romantic comeback is over. Mercuri's been tagged out at the plate. Steamers has gone down swinging as Grace Rickson picks up the win, and the Fire Stars 3, Titans 2 final.
Brianna Kimber, who's been okay. She's had a couple of good pieces of the ball, but hasn't had much luck. A sacrifice bunt her last time to the plate.
Both outs have been change-ups, result of change-ups.
There's a change-up
There's
and
another
a
one.
pop-up. Amber Hood's under it. She calls everyone out. Collett comes over for a cuddle and denies the ACT, who had loaded bases with none out. Peterson gets out of a jam.
3 outs, all change-ups, weren't they? Surely there's a lesson for some of these.
Yeah, I think the
sides.
ACT might look back on that innings and realise that they had a huge opportunity there that they didn't unfortunately capitalise on, and we're about to find out in 3 outs' time whether or not they're going to be made to pay for that, because Parker's thrown 76 pitches so far today on top of 2 heavy workloads. So she's got 3 outs to go, and the Stars have cleared their bench as far as Kaysler, Cameron have all been used. They've made the pitching change, so they've really only left themselves Roberts and Tonkin left. The good news is
2 handy batters.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that they're not, but the 2 in-form hitters of the tournament have gone through. The advantage that SA have got is that they've got probably their fastest runner on.
Gemma Letton's going to lead things off here. We're going to turn it over to the top of the order. While we get a chance here, middle of the 7th inning, is that the ladder now sees Victoria 4 points. ACT win this game, they'll tie with them on 4 points. SA New South Wales have already booked their spots in the final. Just depends now, final placings. Schedule for the rest of the day, we'll see. Queensland play Victoria. That's next up, coming to you from 3 o'clock local time, provided this game doesn't go extras. As Letton watches that one on the outside edge. Then Queensland will change diamonds and play ACT on the backfield at 5:30. SA play Victoria at the same time. So all games remaining will have a big impact on final positions, including this one right here.
Well, Gemma Letton's batted 3 times in this game as the number 9 hitter, and she's batted lead off in every one of those innings. Work that out.
Both singles to the outfield. Change up on the outside edge. So a keen eye for the smiling assassin. It's all business though now in the box for Letton.
We've got it on good authority too, that whilst the gun was they tried to bring her over, she hasn't represented the Stars.
Well, I hate to say it, I got one over Lee Hull. Just to rub it in a little bit, old son.
I'm sorry, you're addressing me, are you?
Base on balls for Gemma Letton. She was on 3 bases, on base, all 3 plate appearances.
As lead-off.
As lead-off.
Thank
Repeat
you.
of earlier message. Amber Hood.
So the good news for SA here is they've got exactly how they want it to play out. They've got their fastest runner at first.
Yep.
They've got their lead off at the plate, and they've got 2, 3, 4, Robinson, White, Grauer to come.
5 balls in a row for Parker to start off this 7th inning. Smashes it in the alley. Henman's going to chase this one down off the fence. Look at Letton go. She'll score for sure. Hood turns 2 and will stand up at 3. Reduces the margin to 1, and the tying run is on 3rd with Robinson, White and Grauer to come.
And that pitch just sat there, didn't it? Just said, look, it's outside. Hit me as far as you can to the right side of the diamond.
Well, we can't stress enough for even her, for being a young pitcher like Parker is in her age, and as talented as she is, the workload of a couple of games Saturday, 3 games yesterday.
It's probably taken its toll.
And she's into the 80s now as far as her pitch count goes. You've got, doesn't matter who you are, that's a massive workload. And in the 7th, Hood just has come up, found the right pitch and gone bang. So SA they just keep coming, and that's the beauty of it. Robinson's not going to give him any free passes here either, and you've got the Olympian on deck.
Robinson will get first crack at it. No outs, runner on 3. Chasing one to tie it for at least to force extra innings. 2 to win it. And a walk-off opportunity for the Stars. Reminds me of a few years back when the Stars were chasing 4, I think, in the final inning against the ACT in Perth, and they just come up, bang, 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 walked it off. Lana Kaiser.
That's a good pitch by G, isn't it? Well,
Well, I mean, it's getting harder to control, obviously, the tireder she gets.
Yeah,
so you can
course.
see as some of them have been dropping in the dirt in the 5th and the 6th innings. So
Pop up into foul territory. Pardo gets under it and takes the catch, first out.
that's that pitch, that 95k pitch that SA have been looking for.
Yeah.
That's the one that they've been driving.
Well, I was saying it before, you don't put the go-ahead run on.
Repeat of earlier message, is that?
However, you can live to fight another day by putting Belinda White on here, except that it's Grauer who put one to the fence, her last plate appearance. Victorian team, just to our right-hand side, watching with keen eyes. White smashes it. It's going to be a test for Hood. She's quick. It's shallow, though. Takes it on the grass, just on the edge of the grass. So 2 threats gone.
I was about to say what you were saying, James, there. You would have nearly have gone as far as making it a double intentional walk. You would have walked both White, Grauer, loaded the bases and sent the 18-year-old Chillingworth to the plate and asked her to come up with something in that regard. That being said, when Chillingworth has been challenged in the tournament so far, she has delivered. So ACT had no real choice but to go.
Grauer's had bat on ball. Fielder's choice at second base. A great play by Spence.
But a couple of big doubles too, though.
A
Must throw change-ups here. Must throw them.
A 5-3. A great play from Rio. So 2 excellent defensive efforts to deny Grauer's first 2 plate appearances. And she thought, well, if I can't get through the infield, I'll go over them.
Yeah.
And she put one to the fence.
Well, don't give her that pitch. Just throw your change-ups, girl.
It was down. Called strike.
Yeah, but see, that's down, but it can go. It's levelling off.
1-1 count.
Swing hard at that'll go. Time for the change-up.
Park has thrown a beauty. Change up. She drills it.
And it's
Ties the
over.
game, Yo Grauer.
Just held her hands back, didn't she? She knew it was coming. One pitcher to the other pitcher. She knew what was coming.
She's had a massive day already, Yo Grauer.
Yeah. Pitch count into the 90s for Parker. Must be getting tired. And that change-up has just sat. And that's why Grauer good enough to recognise it and make her pay for it.
Yeah.
And
an experienced pitcher batting against Lauren, you know, she's going to have some insight, isn't she?
2 outs, tied game. Chillingworth goes first pitch. Now, if ACT can get out of this inning, this batter, SA for the tiebreaker will have hitters 6, 7, 8 to the plate. They, ACT, will have hitters 9, 1, 2.
There is a difference.
Spence and Rua have been good. So Chillingworth again, it's a big, fast, long swing.
Yeah,
it's
she
2
doesn't
out.
need to, does she?
Just needs to find that balance and recognise the difference between, you know, going over and sending the next player up.
Yeah.
Time out called. Let's have a chat about this. How good has Grauer been as we see a change? Is it the kid?
Yeah, I was thinking before, like at 4-all.
A couple of innings ago.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, to ask Yo to be the one to run those 3 base paths, for the walk-off is that's a big ask.
Tall order.
Well, she comes out with 2 out and on runner on first. Chillingworth,
Behind in the count now.
yeah, 0-2, and you make a running change. Are they going to get her to leave early so she's the runner for the tiebreaker?
I think
Maybe.
I think the roll of the dice here is the fact that Chillingworth has had some good shots, and if she does get a good shot, Tonkin's going to give you a chance of threatening the plate if she puts the ball on the green.
Swing and a miss
But
to end
it's a
the inning.
two-pitch.
We're going 2 extras. It's 4-all after 7 innings.
And I've just looked over to the Victorian team and just seen the eyes roll and the shoulders fall as they recognise this game is still to be decided. Going to have to wait a bit longer.
Who would Victoria be wanting to win this game? South Australia, knowing that they can't miss out on finals, or ACT, which would bring them equal on points on the ladder?
Well, there's your answer there.
You want
Well-
to be in control of your own destiny,
Yeah.
as much as you can.
As much as you can.
That being said, it was obvious in that last game against the Five Stars that the Titans pretty much had thrown everybody at it. I mean, they'd gone with their starter who went deep into the game. They had all of their players in form that have been hitting through the tournament. They were all in the game, so...
All right, let's review the bottom half of the 7th inning. Gemma Letton comes to the plate, already with 2 hits in the game, gets a 4-ball walk. Amber Hood, for the 4th time round, puts one to the fence, stand-up triple with RBI. Chelsea Robinson, foul fly to first base. Belle White, fly ball to, was it left field in the end?
shortstop.
Shortstop?
Yep.
It was on the grass, I think. I think the left field still took it.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then Yo Grauer with 2 out, runner on third, gets a single to left field. We are in the tie-break inning. Just keep your eye on that runner. Is that Brianna Kimber?
Yeah,
Tie-break
it is.
runner?
It is. Number 23.
Tie-break
Kimber.
runner on second for the ACT is Brianna Kimber. Laura Pardo, the lefty, in the box. Be interesting to see this defense for the Stars. It's their 2nd tie-break game of the tournament. ACT's first.
Coach Carroll's waited for a 1-1 count before making a signal, so expect Pardo to play short here now.
Outfield are relatively, well, standard. Goes for it. Almost on the move.
In a tie-break, just trying
Sacrifice.
to be a touch greedy there, I think.
Yeah.
Just sort of tried to leave it a little bit late
It's about moving the runners on
in this
tie-break.
particular
Yeah,
situation,
it is.
especially with that girl on deck.
Yep.
Rio on deck, top of the order. Game's original leadoff hitter. She's had 4 plate appearances already.
That's what I don't understand. Why you've in a tie-break, take a strike for the sake of taking a strike. Then you've tried to do a running sort of bunt late. So now you're at 2, so you've thrown it away straight away on just 1 pitch.
It's called a sacrifice bunt for a reason. The
Yeah.
word sacrifice.
Would you still bunt with 2 strikes?
In this situation, yes, but
Yes,
I wouldn't
I
be
would.
doing the running bunt.
No, I'll be doing just...
Peterson with a strikeout.
If you're going to do that, though, wow, not the start that they wanted. But okay, ACT got to regroup here now. You're just going to force your lead off here at 1 out to do the same thing.
Like I said just a few outs ago, was that they do have the top of their order coming up to bat. So it's in the favour of the ACT here with Rio, who's been on 3 out of 4 times.
But what we want is, if you're ACT, we want the runner at 3, anything ball spilling at the plate while Rio's at the plate at batting, and it's an opportunity. So ACT have put themselves behind the 8 ball here, but they can salvage, still got some quality at the plate.
Runner has not moved. Strike
Sitting
called
there,
on
wasn't it? Sitting
Rio.
there.
Touch
She's
high.
faced Peterson once in this game. It was in the 6th. She hit a single
To left field.
to left field.
Parker threw the same change-up and Grauer put her nearly to the fence. So let off for Jade there.
Was that the one that scored runs? Pop up, talking it over is Belinda White. There was nearly a 3-player collision as we saw Robinson and White not taking their eye off the ball, and then Rio caught out in foul territory. So 2 outs, the runner's not moved. The dangerous Brooke Spence up to bat. She's had 2 hits. She's put down a bunt and she's had a fly ball to centre field in this game. However, she's coming in hurt.
And the dumb thing that comes out of this, if SA can get out of this with Spence at the plate, it'll send, and if we're unable to score in that next innings, it'll actually put Warwick as the lead-off hitter in the next tie-break, which means that she would become the advancing batter, and you take her long stick away of her batting the run in. So SA this has turned in their favour massively now.
Goes to the outside edge.
Yeah, these 3 batters, Spencer, Warwick and Cooper, have 6 safe hits between them so far.
Yeah.
I count 7. 2 for Spence, 3 for Warwick, 2
Correct.
for Cooper.
Correct. I bow to your better judgment.
For the
Or
second
better
time this
eyesight.
game.
For the second time for this year.
Oh, change-up that nearly gets away from both Peterson and Robinson. That runner has not moved.
No.
If you are the third base coach and that runner in the tiebreaker has not moved from second base with 2 strikes on the third batter, things have not gone right. So can Spence right it? Right the wrong. Change up again, Lee. Down to 68.
It's trying to outthink the batters. That's what it's about. It's me versus you, Jade says.
Strikeout swinging.
Well,
Peterson, the old fox, has done it again for the Stars. She gave up 2 in the 6th, but since then has thrown 3 strikeouts.
The Peterson revival continues, but ACT, that first lead-off pat by Pardo has just put ACT behind the 8 ball. You don't know if she was told to take the first strike, but unfortunately it's hamstrung them. Then SA have been good enough, but in a tie-break, if you can't advance your runner with 3 batters from 2, then yeah, that's hasn't worked well. They've changed their pitcher. They've made a change now as we go into the tie-break.
This is the biggest shock of the game. Not the comeback from South Australia, not ACT in a winning position. It's the change from the international Parker, bringing in number 96, Lee Hull.
Yeah, yes, I'm there. I'm looking. I'm checking. It's Thorburn.
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 Yeah.
Thorburn.
Thorburn comes in to pitch. Did she not have a pinch
she was
hit early in the game?
She came on, didn't she?
She had a pinch hit, didn't
Yeah.
she?
She was a pinch runner.
Pinch runner, that's right.
I've got her down as a pinch hit for Michaela Tui.
Let's have a look.
Look,
Yes.
I can be corrected if I'm wrong. However,
There's who it is here.
So
that's the DP, right? So,
Yeah, DP. She came in.
but she came in for the DP.
That's right.
so she can't come in for.
DP's gone to 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
They've moved some players
Yeah.
around. So Thornburn's the
Yeah.
39-year-old pickup from Queensland.
Yeah, so they're playing with 9 now. But that's what she did. She came in for Tui for the DP.
Okay. Well, here we go. Tiebreaker. Taylor Chillingworth's the runner on second. South Australia have the advantage of batting last. So they just need 1 to win it. Steph Collett's up to bat. She has put down a bunt in this game. Also has a single to centre field. New pitcher, new story. 4th time round. Low for a ball. Chillingworth is getting a big lead off because there's no cover. Shortstop covers 3rd for the lead runner. Second base covers 1st for the bunt. So she can get a lead off all the way down, halfway down the line. She can go 30 feet off the base here with an aggressive lead off.
ACT must get an out on this play. Must.
bunt is down perfectly. The runner advances to third. The out is made at first. Steph Collett, you've had a game.
She has had a very good game, Steph Collett, and we've talked earlier in the game about SA's short game. All of their bunting has been at a really top level. We've seen a lot of pop-up bunts from some of the teams, but I mean, that's a tape that the ACT maybe don't want to look back on after in the debrief. But now, Atkins.
Okay, Atkins has got a couple of RBIs in each day. I think she's had RBIs, so she's the left-handed batter. Doesn't matter if she gets on. Do you put her on and go after the teenager who's on deck?
The left fielder.
Well, I know
ball called.
I know what Lee would be doing here as regards to the left-hander.
We'll be bringing Sam McCready around near the line and then a little bit shorter. Because this girl could hit the ball hard out there.
Pippa Atkins has shown us that she can drag that ball
I understand
to
that.
the right side of the diamond, which gives the advantage to that runner.
But she doesn't need to, in the sense that, you know, Warwick's been struggling with a bit of movement. If anything, I'm looking for a push bunt into the shortstop hole, and having Chillingworth comes tearing down to the plate. Spence is still sitting. I mean, she's on the line, granted, but Warwick, when she did that run from 2 to 3, she didn't look like 100% right.
0-2 count for Adkins, and she swings
There it
on a
goes.
high ball. Warwick under it will take the catch and make the second out.
I would have forced, I mean, look, that's the way that it's played out. Now we get Adams, who's got some power to her, but again, we don't need power. We need a single.
Yeah.
We don't need home runs and triples and anything else like that. This is legitimately just trying to put the ball in the space. There's a big hole. Warwick's come across to the middle now, so there's a big hole between short and third.
Outfielder got to play in, because if the ball lands, the game's over in any case. You got to play in for the catch.
The youngest player on the Stars roster comes to the box. She's had 2 plate appearances for 2 strikeouts in this game. But in softball, you only need to get 1 out of 3 to be a successful player.
Yeah, that's fine. The outfield, far too deep for this girl. You've got to catch this ball. If it lands, the game's done.
So SA in a good spot now, because obviously with Adams at the plate, they've still got Letton, who's been hitting well since late yesterday.
Whoa, has
and then
she
you've
ever.
got the dangerous Amber Hood coming after that. So
Cooper, an important stop there. That one bounced right before her, so good glove.
You don't want the ball getting away to win the game, do you? That's not the way the game should finish. Outfield, message to the outfield, repeat of earlier messages.
95, that pitch.
Right at the bottom of the zone for Adams now. She
She's
can
done
hit a
well.
long ball. She's got the ability to put this to the fence.
Yeah, she has, but
The
Mel's
outfield
done very well coming in fresh, hasn't she? The pitch.
Smacks to the right side.
yes.
9-3 will tie the game. Safe. It's a walk-off for Adams. She's not even old enough to drink. Ice in the veins of the teenager. And she's walked it off for the Stars in the 8th.
Wow.
From Port Pirie, the kid's done it. Look at that play at first. So close, and she's done it. I said it, 1 in 3. It makes you an amazing player. She's walked it off. And SA deny ACT. They were in front the whole game. The ACT have just let one slip. And it's teenagers that do the damage for the Stars. Chillingworth's the winning run.
Very good call by you, James.
Yeah, well done again, James.
Obviously not allowed to talk too much at home. After the birth of your beautiful daughter, Maeve.
I'm not allowed to talk when she's asleep.
So you're making up for it here.
5-4 in a walk-off from Neve Adams. It's one person that Muggleton's got to speak to. Surely it's just one. There she is, Neve Adams. A star in her own right. Now she's wearing the Stars uniform. Over to you, David.
Thanks, guys. Now, Neve, you're not old enough to drink, so what flavour milkshake are you going to have to celebrate that?
Oh, definitely a good chocolate milkshake, for sure.
So, you got a hit of your first ever at-bat as the Stars. Now you're hitting walk-offs. Are you having a great time out here with the state?
Oh, I'm loving it. I wouldn't ask for anything better than that. It's just such a great opportunity.
Now, just talk me through what's going through your head with that final at-bat. You're 2 out. This is like the biggest clutch moment that you're ever going to have as a player. Like, how do you keep cool in that situation?
Oh, just breathing, really, and just routine, doing what I've done every other at-bat, really.
Well, if you're making it routine, hitting walk-offs, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, I guess so. Hope so.
Anyway, have a good time.
Cheers, thank you.
You are a superstar, Neve Adams. Wow. SA well placed now. They will finish top 2 regardless of the result of the next game. They move to 12 points, New South Wales 14 points. That's your 1v2 game tomorrow morning. It is now determined by Victoria, Queensland, ACT in their remaining games to make up the final 4. Victoria still have 2 games to go. They're on 4 points. Queensland and ACT 1 win apiece. And you'd think the result of that game that they will play against each other will determine who will make the top 4. But we'll see. We will see. Now, we've still got 2 more games to go here. I was going to call it Premier League action in the Gillies Shield for day 3 before final start tomorrow, guys. I'm going to let you wrap it up.
Great game by SA in the sense that they didn't give it away. There was lots of ups and downs through it, but I mean, I said earlier that it was good to see SA chase, and so they had a role to play. Peterson picks up a save to go with a couple of W's, so her tournament just continues to get better and better.
Fantastic.
But the youth of SA just shows the program is working, and a great job.
What a terrific game to be involved with as commentary, but I may just sort of go back to this repeat of earlier message. The right fielder, if the outfielder playing in, that's a 9-3, and that side away.
Well, Lee, you got that
side.
one right.
Yeah.
Because I was going to put him back because Adams can hit the ball to the fence. So you got me on that one there. If she was in 2 steps, it's a tie ball game. We're playing a 9.
Yeah, that's fine. So what's the score between you and I now? 2-27.
Don't give me that much credit, Lee. All right. Look, don't go too far away. We've still got 2 more games to come here on day 3 of the 2022 Gillies Shield. Great call from you guys today, Anthony and Lee. You're back for game 3.
Yep.
We're putting you to work today.
Bit of practice, bit more practice.
Our man, Eric, will be back in the chair to call the next one. And I can't wait to see what happens next. This SA machine just continues to roll on. We'll see you later.
Yeah, well done, James. A great call, great finish, mate. That's good.